P-mail. Lots of guardians become frustrated that their dog seemingly pulls towards all available lamp posts, dustbins, electric boxes, telegraph poles, walls and so on. However, instead of becoming frustrated, let's look at the behavior and the need of the behavior in a constructive way to understand our marvelous dogs. A study was conducted to understand this behavior and whether being on lead or off lead made an impact. 1, 2. Let's cue the groan and eye roll. Socialization. Yes, I know it's that buzzword again. However, this is relevant to our study. So many people, and even scholars, used to believe in their studies of dogs that dogs visually signaled to communicate with other dogs. However, it has been found that this is actually wrong and that dogs' signal structures are in fact via the olfactory system, sniffing. It has also been found between studying a cross-section of old research with new, that our dogs' vision is best in dimly lit environments as opposed to bright settings. Their eyes have degenerated throughout evolution, and this means that smaller dogs have a smaller ability to see light, whereas larger dogs have a broader vision of light. This is a very special biology of dogs that humans don't have. This very special ability is called reflective tapetum lucidum. This is a layer of tissue in the eye which is essentially a biological reflector system. This means due to the tapetum lucidum that the dog's light-sensitive retinal cells have an added opportunity to use photon photoreceptor stimulation by reflecting light passing through the retina not once but twice. This means that dogs have the added ability to see much better in dimly lit environments. However, this gift isn't without its downside, that with this process within the eye, due to the light scattering as it passes through the retina, which means dogs are not able to see details of images that they see 3, 4. So this would essentially be like those of us who are short-sighted. So if I can digress, sorry, going off on another avenue, I will return to sight and do a more in-depth blog. But for us to understand dogs signaling communications with scent, we have to understand why evolution has actually changed the behavior of dogs and what we thought we knew with what we now know today with modern science. They found that males tended to sniff the anal region of other dogs, and bitches tended to focus on smelling the head of another dog. They also found that sniffing the ground was more likely to occur before toileting, and when there was not the opportunity to interact with another dog. 5. They also found through their studies, interestingly, when both dogs were on the lead, they would not interact with each other. During their study, they concluded that this could reduce antagonistic behavior between dogs. It is important to remember this was 1992, and the world has changed a lot in relation to our dogs. 286 dogs were used for the study of different groups, such as pastoral etc. The Guardian was followed by one observer with a camera. They found that 91% of the dogs did not participate with other people. I think it's important to include that the dogs were walking in one direction on lead and the second half of the walk off lead. 72% of the dogs participating were not found to interact with either people or dogs. Only 19% interacted with dogs, 2% people, and 8% both people and dogs. They found that when the dogs were off the lead, they spent far more time sniffing, and this also depended on the weather, season, whether there was prior defecation available to investigate, and opportunities to toilet themselves. Urination was observed in 37% of the dogs. Eating found items was only found within 6% of observations, with a maximum of 4 times per one observation. Rolling behavior was observed in 8% of the dogs, again with a maximum of 4 times per one observation. The dogs had the opportunity to meet 24 walkers, and the dogs only interacted with 4 or less per walk. They also had the chance to meet a maximum of 13 dogs on a walk, and found that they mostly mixed with between 0 and 10 dogs at a maximum. It was also concluded when the dogs were off the lead, they were more interested in sniffing than the chance to meet another dog. 6. We also know that dogs have an extraordinary sense of smell which far outweighs the human ability of smell. Dogs' sense of smell is so brilliant that when they sniff, they can collect both historical and current data. They can also locate where the smell is coming from, locating food, detecting danger or the opportunity of reproduction. If you would really like to geek out on the dog's nose and abilities, please check out my previous blog here. Camera with flash. Look at this post on Facebook, https://100,057,373,879,884/posts bid 0 Guy 5QHU5G7 JPX FMG6P 3JDGCZ VS67P WRUTNH8 DJ4 J84E5ZFH58 IUX82 Q3M NQP J JL D equals N, and Mebexted equals WC7F, NE. Although many find sniffing dogs frustrating, and I have encountered far too many people I have yelled at for yanking their dog away from sniffing something, it's important to remember that even with modern-day science we have no olfactory detector system that matches the dog's nose. Dogs are also able to travel to different locations, and have become scanners for lack of a better word for diseases such as COVID-19, malaria, cancer and so much more. We even use dogs for vital conservation work, including the seeking and indication of oil in environments damaged by historic oil spills. To just demonstrate how mind-blowing this work is, the dogs are in a motor boat with their handler and can indicate on the surface of the water. They spend their day between the boat and embankment indicating oil spots, which are then flagged. Through the amazing cognitive abilities of dogs, they are able to build a multidimensional picture in their brain of the sense that they have detected. There is also emerging evidence that dogs may actually develop their sense of smell prenatally. We know dogs are able to smell as soon as they are born, and await the development of their sight and hearing senses. 7. It is important to know this and understand this, as puppies rely on their sense of smell to seek their mother for warmth and food. Their nose is their ultimate survival ability to stay alive, grow, develop and bond with their mother and siblings immediately. This is a huge survival instinct, and one that they will rely on for the rest of their lives. If we want to explore this in an even more broad sense, during the domestication of dogs, humans building relationships with dogs, humans relied heavily on dogs for their sense of smell, for prey, for both of their survival. A great example of this is from Secrets of the Snout, written by Frank Rosel. I actually struggled reading this book for a while. I was absolutely engrossed in this book and reading it enthusiastically until I reached chapter 2. Rosel describes a colleague who had a German Shepherd puppy, born without a sense of smell. In the first days of his life, he rapidly lost weight due to not being able to seek his mother's milk. He quickly adapted and learnt to lie on top of a sibling, and when they let go of the teat, he would then latch on. As he grew, he was often found to steal oranges and onions, and also consume dangerous items on walks, inevitably making him ill. He was unable to socially function with other dogs, and had to rely on his vision to identify his guardian's legs, and his mother. Sadly, he was attacked by another dog, and after this event he became unpredictable, often attacking other dogs, especially adult males and his own mother. His guardian couldn't take the risk that he would severely hurt someone or his mother, so unfortunately he was euthanized. 8. 9. I struggled with reading further after learning about Arthur, as it hit me so hard how his guardian was in a terrible position, and how she had to arrive at that decision, as well as Arthur not being able to develop past a year old. But from what I understand, he had a great year of life. I had to come to this reconciliation because of the cruelty of being born without the sense of smell, which ultimately led to Arthur remaining unsafe in the world. It is sad that people are so unpredictable. We know that some cannot be trusted to keep their dogs on lead, and being in the position where he didn't understand why he was attacked. The ability to differ between scents of different dogs and being able to tell who his mother was. I have shared Arthur's story to demonstrate just how important and vital our dog's sense of smell is for them to navigate through their lives. Dogs literally have to sniff to be able to survive from birth. This is something I think we all need to think about when they are engaged with that lamppost for a bit too long in the pouring rain. When they are excited to forage and explore leaves, hedgerows and of course smell other dogs. Dogs do not sniff to annoy us. They sniff to learn about the world and survive ultimately. And I think it is really important that, as well as acknowledgement of sniffiferous and decompression, that it would be humbling to take pause and remember that dogs rely on their sense of smell for their survival, their connection seeking, their sense of safety, and being able to differ between safety and danger. So when you look at your dog, please take a moment to remember Arthur's story, and remember how wonderful and beautifully intelligent your dog truly is. References: Bradshaw JWS, Not HMR Social and Communication Behavior of Companion Dogs. In Sapel J., Editor. The Domestic Dog, Its Evolution, Behavior and Interactions with People. Cambridge University Press. Cambridge, 1995. Pages 115-130. Bradshaw JWS. Lee A.M. Dyadic Interactions Between Domestic Dogs. Anthrozoos 1992, 5, 245-253. Olivier, F. Samuelson, D. Brooks, D. Lewis, P. Kohlberg, M. and Komrami, A. 2004. Comparative Morphology of the Tapetum lucidum among Selected Species. Veterinary Ophthalmology 7, 1, 1122. Walls, G.L., 1942. The Vertebrate Eye and Its Adaptive Radiation, Bradshaw JWS. Lee A.M. Dyadic Interactions Between Domestic Dogs, Anthrazeus 1992, 5, 245-253. Westgarth, C. et al., 2010, Dog Behavior on Walks and the Effective Use of the Leash, Applied Animal Behavior Science, 125, 1-2, pages 38-46, doi, 10.1016 Geoplanim, 2010-03-007, HEPA PG, Wells, D.L. Perinatal Olfactory Learning in the Domestic Dog, Chem, Census 2005, 31, 207-212, doi, 10.1093 Kemps B.J., J020, J. Ashley, S. Billinge, and C. Hemmons, Who Let the Dogs Out? Drug Dogs in Court, Criminal Justice Studies 20, 2007, 177-96 Rosal, F. CPT2, A Dog's Sense of Smell, In Secrets of the Snout. The Dog's Incredible Nose, Chicago, The University of Chicago Press, 2018, pages 24-25. Image description, A2 window pane comic book strip, with the title, Sniff Your Right to Party. You Got a Sniff. Beastie Boys. www.muttsandmischief.com. The left window has a grey and cream wolf dog sniffing a lamppost off the pavement to the grass verge, with a blue pop art background. The title box says, P-mail. The dog is sniffing the lamppost and says, I wonder if anyone has left any P-mail. Then he says, I will leave a P-mail. The right window has a grey and cream wolf dog clocking his leg on the lamppost. There is urine coming down the lamppost onto the grass. There is a speech box which says, Zombie was here at 6 p.m. Monday night. Can you tell what I had for dinner? Let me know. There is a yellow spiky text box at the top that reads, Remember P-mail is as important as your emails with a red exclamation mark. Photo